Do that now.
Do
What's
what?
up, parties and hardos? Spinny was out here making really weird noises right before the recording
No,
started, and
Russell's just straight lying now. You're just lying to
he's
everyone.
not doing it.
Not doing what? The
All
only
right,
thing I'm
pause.
doing is this.
All right, y'all. We're gonna start off the Lawrence Taylor episode, one of the GOATs, episode 56. Actually, talking about NBA though, not the NFL. We're gonna talk about the NBA playoffs. Spinny, I think we should briefly run through. It's been a week since we last recorded, last talked to our Hardies and Hardos. I think we briefly run through the first round series that we saw get finished up. Obviously, the Bucks got eliminated by the Heat 4-1. That was ridiculous. Celtics finished off the Hawks. No surprise there. We knew that was going to happen. The Lakers finished off the Grizz 4-2, and that was it. And then obviously Curry had to go bananas and drop a 50 ball in Game 7 to eliminate the Kings. There is a couple
Like the
storylines from the
theme.
series, though. Let's just start with that one. What does this mean for Curry's legacy? 50 points in Game 7, most ever. I mean, we've seen him ball out year in and year out. Does this cement him in the top 10 for you, or what are you thinking?
Like, personally, I don't really get that. Because, like, I understand it's a cool playoff moment, and it's definitely, like, good for his legacy, obviously, and definitely a little notch in his belt, like, those playoff games like that everyone remembers. But, like, he wasn't top 10 yesterday or the day before
Right.
that, and then now he's top 10. Like, I definitely think it's a little bit of overreaction. I think that Curry is definitely an argument in top 10, and like if they win the finals, he's 1000% top 10. And if they win the finals, he's like top 7, 6. Like, you're talking arguments with Kobe and Duncan. Those guys, Bird.
Oh yeah, for sure. So
That's definitely better than Bird. That's arguments with Kobe and Duncan.
Do you think he has to make the finals to be solidified in top 10, or because I'm thinking if he just makes the West Conference Finals, able to get past the Lakers here, another deep playoff run once again.
Yeah, I mean, we're just talking about, is he better than Hakeem and Shaq, right? That's the level of guy we're talking about, that he has to be better than to get in the top 10.
Yeah. I mean, what? Yeah, it's tough for me though, because like right now at 10, I think I have Wilt, I would say. So it's like I think like he played in the 60s. Obviously, Wilt, he did his thing. Respect. I mean, that was how the era was at that time. So respect for him balling out. But I think Curry's better than him already. So it's like,
yeah, I mean, you
me,
got
to
Wilt.
me, I almost have him at 10 already.
So Wilt, Russell, and are those the only two from the old era in the top 10?
I mean, Oscar Robertson would be the other argument.
Yeah,
right?
but probably not. Okay, Jordan, Braun, Kareem, Magic. Then you're talking like
Bird,
Kobe,
Duncan. It's probably in the top 10. Shaq. That's 8.
That's 8.
Yes.
Then we're talking Wilt and Russell.
Yeah.
Right? Then we're talking
Russell and Hakeem would be the next 3.
Yeah.
And Curry. So like that's your 9 to 12 is those 4. Yeah. However you want to order them. Yeah. So to me, he's already in the top 10. I'm not even gonna lie. But I do agree with
someone. So
I don't know. Hardies and Hardos, we're missing an obvious name. Please comment below.
Yeah, facts.
But the 50-point, I like your take on that because it's totally right. Like how are you gonna say, he's borderline top 10, and then after one game, he's just
Yeah.
magically a lock? Like that just doesn't really make sense. Plus, if you just like actually watch the game, I mean, he probably scored what 15 to 20 points in the fourth quarter when the game was already 15 plus point settled margin. You know what I mean? So like he scored a number of those points in garbage time. I'm not
Yeah.
really taking that away from him, but it is a fact.
Well, and like, can we be real in the fact of Curry doesn't have the accolades of those guys as far as like all NBA teams and such? Like
Well, and he
Duncan has,
obviously has zero all defensive teams.
well, yeah, but I'm even just talking all NBA first teams. Like Duncan has 10 of those. Curry has 4. Like that's the stuff we're talking about. I'm missing my stat sheet, so I can't give you the whole list that I had written down. But the disco ball, huh? Let's get it. Mariah's just walking in with a nice little disco ball for some reason, so we're just
For some, oh,
spinning
that's
it.
a good ad. You should have
Yeah,
that in the back
should
for
I? The
sure.
disco ball?
Yeah, I
All
like
right,
that.
spinning it up, spinny spinning.
Exactly.
Sorry, Hardies and Hardos. Let's see if I can focus after that. All NBA teams all time. Okay. Curry is not on that same level as those other guys, but obviously like the playoffs performances and the championships like puts him in that category. And if he plays as long as I think he can play, his counting stats are really going to put him up there as well. If he keeps shooting like he is, like the amount of lead he's going to have on like three-pointers all time is going to be
It's gonna be
absolutely
ridiculous.
unbelievable. So like that type of stuff also obviously projects him higher too as time goes on, and like I just think that goes well for him, but yeah.
Yeah, I don't know. It's definitely a debate, and yeah, I mean, like we said, we could definitely see him solidify his spot in the top 10 if he beats LeBron again here. If and by the way, I do want to mention this would not hurt LeBron's legacy. I hate people that are like saying this would absolutely destroy LeBron's legacy if he loses this round to Curry, blah 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 blah. Bro, we're talking about a guy in year 20. Like, let's take a step back and chill for a little bit. He shouldn't even be doing what he's doing right now. So,
Yeah.
in no way this would hurt his legacy.
And like I agree with that. Just going back to the Curry thing for 1 second. James Harden has 6 first team All NBAs. James Harden has 2 more than Steph Curry in this era. KD has 6, Shaq has 8, Magic 9, Larry 9, MJ 10, Kareem 10, Duncan 10, Malone 11, Kobe 11, Bron 13. Then there's a bunch of like, there's some Bob Pettit and Elgin Baylor and Bob Cousy and Jerry West in there, but obviously the talent in the NBA wasn't quite the same. So that's the big argument against Curry, is just those award type situations where he doesn't necessarily have it like the rest of the people in the top 10.
Yeah, that is fair. Well, let's jump to the next storyline. Sorry, I lost my spot in my notes here. Let's jump to the Lakers Grizz since we're kind of talking about Lakers Warriors. I just want to ask you about this report that came out about Dylan Brooks and how under any circumstances would the Grizzlies not bring him back. Is that verbatim insane to you? Because that's crazy to me to just instantly come out 2 days after you lost in the playoffs and instantly say there's zero chance, like literally zero chance you're back on our team next year.
Well, and the thing is, like, this guy averaged like 17 points a game over like 4 seasons before last year and the 4 seasons before that. So, like, it's not like we're talking about a worthless offensive player. Now, he seems to have gotten worse on offense, which is weird and obviously not normal. But, like, can we remember Dylan? I know this is different and whatever, but like, Dylan Brooks at Oregon could ball. Like, this man be scoring like it's like filling it up.
Well, he said that too when after that report came out. He said the Grizzlies weren't even using me in the right way on offense. I was strictly out there to catch and shoot threes. He's
Yeah.
like, I can do way more than that. He's like, I come out ball screens, I create for others. They didn't let me do any of that.
And I feel
So
like that makes him a better player, honestly. When he's just a catch and shoot guy, it's just not exactly what he does. Now, did he act like an idiot? Yes. Did he not lots of bad stuff for him? Saying the poke the bear thing and then not showing up at the press conferences, blah 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 blah. Not a great look. But this is the NBA. You don't give up assets for nothing. It just doesn't happen. And just to blatantly say under any circumstance is
that's what I'm saying. That's a little
unbelievable.
crazy.
Like, we're just giving up a guy who can score 17 a game and play pretty good D for nothing and saying
He is probably I could be wrong, but he's probably making second team all defense this year. Like,
yeah.
he's probably gonna be an all defensive player.
So that's it just seems weird, and I think he got it worse than he deserved. But I think they were trying to trade him at the deadline. It sounds like my bet winning boy Masai would have been willing to trade one of his guys. They were trying to get OG for Dylan Brooks at the deadline. So
That's true. That was a rumor. That is true. So yeah, I guess maybe we should have seen that coming. They were doing their due diligence and trying to get rid of Dylan Brooks for another asset, but
under no circumstance is ridiculous.
did you really have to use that
ridiculous.
verbatim? Really?
Under no circumstance.
You could just simply say, you're not coming back. We're not bringing Dylan Brooks back. You didn't need to say under any circumstance. I don't know. As much as I clown this dude and as much as I hate Dylan Brooks, he's an NBA player and a good NBA player. Let's pump the brakes a little bit. People are saying he doesn't even belong in the NBA. Come on. That's ridiculous.
He had a bad shooting season, I understand.
Yeah, for sure.
But the production has been there in the past. So he's not like he's old. It's like something was going on weird in Memphis. Whatever.
Yeah.
I'm gonna give Dylan Brooks a little bit of the benefit of the doubt with all of this stuff because of the scoring he showed in the past.
Yeah, for sure. Last headline or storyline, I should say, I want to ask you about is the Bucks getting eliminated in 5 games, the same amount of games that the Timberwolves were eliminated in. Fun fact. What does this do? What does this do to Giannis's legacy? Because I'm trying to think of a best player in the league type player that choked as one of the best teams in their conferences in the first round like this. I can't think of one. Did Curry ever do this? No. Did LeBron ever do this? No.
Yeah, I don't know if it does that much for your legacy. It's not good, but does it I don't know. I don't think it's a knock.
Maybe the legacy aspect wasn't the right question. What does this mean for him as the best player in the world today? Is he still?
That's up for grabs. That is up for grabs at this point. Right now, this very current second, I still think he has it. But
I agree.
If the Nuggets win the championship, it's probably Jokic.
For sure.
Definitely an argument.
If the Sixers somehow did it, it'd be Embiid.
And if the Warriors did it, it's 100% Curry.
100% Curry. Yes.
So I think all three of those things are open for possibility. But you have to make significant playoff. You have to have significant playoff success to change your position as far as best player in the world, especially with how good Giannis has been. Now. So
for sure. Well, let's jump to the second round series because
he was hurt, so that's obviously
he was a
little bit. Maybe not. I don't know. It saves him maybe even a
little bit. Yeah. Well, this kind of transitions well to the second round because would AD be in this conversation if the Lakers won the championship and he was the best player on the team as he has been so far in the playoffs? If he's able to beat the Warriors now, it's obviously 1-0,
which he's going to do.
And as we're recording, we're about 2-3 hours away from game 2,
which the Warriors will win.
Which the Warriors will win. I agree. I would be absolutely shocked if the Lakers are going home 2-0, up 2-0.
Then it's over.
If they beat the defending champs, a team that has 4 rings in our lifetime, this is a dynasty. Everyone's calling the Warriors a dynasty, right? They are.
Yeah.
If AD sends them home with performances like we saw in game 1, 30, 20, and 5 blocks, 5 assists, You almost have to, which is crazy to say for a guy that's missed how many games in the last couple of years.
I
But if
don't.
he's carrying this team that far,
I don't see. AD has a playing problem, but AD also has an engagement problem,
that's the
and
main issue.
and this level of engagement is something we haven't. I don't know what's going on, but whatever's going on needs to keep going on. Because like I don't take this lightly, but and Dwight Howard might have an argument for this as well. But I think AD playing right now is the best defender I've ever seen, personally. The most
Well,
impactful defender I've ever seen.
that's kind of what I'm getting at with like, could he make an argument for best player in the league? Because he is
Yeah.
that good on the defensive end. And
Yeah.
he's out here still dropping 30, still getting 10 to 20 rebounds a game. Like he's doing it everywhere.
We're talking Hakeem stuff on defense. Like that's what we're talking about, which is unbelievable. I mean, that's it. The thing is though, LeBron is going to turn it on at some point. I know everybody doesn't think that he is, and I understand that, but I still believe
LeBron
that
James.
he is. I still believe that he is. And I still believe that he's going to do better than 9 for 50, which is what he is from 3 so far in the playoffs. So like
it's been bad.
I don't think
that
is going to continue like either. Like he's got to be better. Like,
he's going to at least get it to
he's
that
not going to shoot
30 to
18%.
35%. Yes.
Like he's going to shoot at least 30%.
Yes.
So like it's gonna be we're gonna have something good going on from the shooting perspective from LeBron, I assume.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Like last game, he was like 1 for 9 or something from 3,
like,
with the majority of them wide open too. Like, come on, he's not going to keep missing these shots.
No, he's not. And that's the thing with AD though. If LeBron is like on his level as well, it just might not be quite the same as those other guys who their second guy isn't on that level.
Okay.
So I think LeBron might take a little credit from AD, honestly, in that discussion.
Okay. So I'm still rocking Lakers. The one game I guess we've watched so far kind of has gone how I expected it to go. We'll see how game 2 goes tonight. But my opinion hasn't changed about this series. I'm sure you're in the same boat.
Yeah, I mean, Lakers have had the best record since the All-Star break. I picked them since the beginning of the playoffs. We're loving them. The physicality. They won a game last night when Poole and Clay and Steph combined for 18 threes.
Literally, that's so insane.
And the Warriors had 21 threes and the Lakers had 6.
You should not win
a game talking about.
when you're outscored by 45 points from the 3-point line. You should not win.
You should not win. You should never win that game. So, like, it's just, I don't know. I'm just liking it. It's just good vibes from the Lakers. I actually think the series could be very similar to the last one. Lakers lose game 2, win both at home, lose game 5, and win game 6 in LA. I definitely think that's a real possibility.
Yeah, I agree. Let's jump to the other West series. Nuggets, this one, I don't even think we really even need to talk about. Nuggets are up 2-0 on the Suns. They play tomorrow, I believe, game 3, and no Chris Paul for games 3, 4, and 5. They already are shorthanded. As we talked about last week, we knew that the Nuggets' depth would give them issues. Plus, Jokic is playing like the best player in the league right now, doing crazy things. And, yeah, I think this one's all but over.
Yeah, my preseason pick out of the Western Conference is looking good. We got 2. So either way, we're gonna be great.
Now you're gonna take that.
We got the Lakers pre-postseason. We got the Nuggets preseason. Either way, we're just loving our lives and getting a nice old dubski on the old Dubs and L's. So, JK. Anyways, the Nuggets are playing good. Definitely giving huge troubles to the Suns. But let's just pump the brakes a little, because like, there is a chance that KD and Booker average like 30 apiece for the rest of the series. And
I mean, Booker's been doing those things all playoffs.
Yeah, and KD hasn't been on yet, really. I shouldn't say hasn't been on. Yeah, he's still averaging like 26 and a half. So like, you know, but like, I think there's a chance they could go for 60 a game each. But that is the only way that that the Suns will like even make it a series at this point,
Absolutely.
given the CP3 injury. But yeah, I don't know. Well, let me see how Game 3 goes at home before I completely write the Suns off. And I
They at
think,
least have 2 games at home now.
yeah,
Yeah, we'll see what happens.
let's see how that goes. But Nuggets looking good,
For sure. Let's jump to the East.
which means I was wrong. But
We're
we're still
start
holding
with
out hope for my pick. We're still holding out hope.
let's start with let's save your squad for last here. Let's start with the Heat Knicks. 1-1 heading back to Miami. It was a good idea in my opinion. We'll talk about this with Embiid as well. Great idea, in my opinion, by Spoelstra and the Heat to not let Jimmy play in game 2. He wanted to play. He said, "Let me go," and they're like, "Nah." They won game 1. Why are you risking a further like re-aggravation of his injury? Let him get even more days rest. Go back to Miami 1-1. And as we saw from that game, they almost won without Jimmy.
Literally.
I'm still getting major Heat vibes. Both of us picked the Heat in this series. I believe I did in 7 though. I still think it's probably going to go the distance. What are you thinking?
Yeah, I mean Brunson still looks good, so
Right.
We'll see injuries, nagging stuff with him and Randall. Hopefully, they can be as healthy as possible. That's obviously that's will be it. This series is close enough that the amount that each star, but Jimmy or Bam or Jimmy or Randall and Brunson, the injuries that's going on with the 3 of them, whoever plays more is probably going to be the one to win this series, or whoever plays more at their best despite the injury is probably going to be the team that wins the series.
Yeah, I agree with that. So let's just say the rest of the series, all 3 of them are playing. Are you giving the edge to the Knicks then? Because Julius didn't play in game 1 when they lost.
Yeah, probably slight edge Knicks. No, I don't know, man.
It's so tough.
50-50. If
it's Timmy buckets.
everyone plays, it's 50-50. It honestly is. But like, if Randall's not that healthy, or Jimmy's not that healthy, or Brunson's not that healthy, the team that person's on is probably taking the L.
Yeah, I agree with that statement. Let's go to your Celtics now. Celtics, Sixers. Celtics should be up 2-0. I don't know what the hell's going on here. They choked game 1. Maybe I should have seen that coming just based off how the first series went. They kind of were lackadaisical against the Hawks. I should have maybe seen that coming in game 1. Maybe they thought, oh, no Embiid. We'll get this done. James Harden, he's a playoff choker. No worries there. And then he all of a sudden drops 45 freaking points. Came back to earth in game 2 with a 2 for 14 showing or whatever the hell he ended up with. You still feeling confident about your Sixers or your Celtics, I should say? I am personally, because Embiid did not look even remotely close to 100% there in game 2.
Yeah, I mean, Jaylen Brown looked more engaged last night. That was good. He didn't shoot 3 shots in the last 3 quarters like he did in game 1 for some reason.
That's inexcusable, honestly.
6 for 7 in the first quarter, and then 2 for 3 the rest of the way.
That's inexcusable. I'm sorry. You have to shoot more. You're a star in the league, as we're going to talk about later this episode. Likely all NBA player this year. You can't only shoot 10 times. That's just
literally.
I'm sorry. It's inexcusable.
It's just weird. There's weird vibes coming from all that, honestly. Sorry, my car alarm's going off out there. My neighbors are hating me right now. There we go. Now we're good. What was that? What were we saying? I'm sorry. Jeez. It's one of them days.
You were talking about the vibes. You're getting weird vibes from, I'm assuming, Jaylen Brown.
Oh, yeah. Weird vibes from Jaylen Brown. Like, the not shooting, the weird press conferences, like, obviously the articles and stuff. We're hoping, we're really hoping for third team All NBA. Because if there's no third team All NBA, there's a good chance it's over. So
yeah, I think you're getting a little scared now.
I am. It's not good.
I would be.
And you know me, I love Jaylen Brown.
He's so good.
I love Jaylen Brown. And Tatum and Brown together, like it just
so good. Such a good duo.
No, they can't play together actually though. I should probably trade one of them. Forgot about that too. Anyways, but that's been good to see him engaged. And the Celtics won a game by like 40 where Tatum had 7 points. So like that's also
a
good thing.
Brogdon's been balling out. this
Yeah.
playoffs.
And I think I kind of saw this coming. Like if he could stay healthy, like because we've seen him ball out in Indiana, and then with this level of open shots that he gets on this team,
Yeah,
it's
yeah,
unbelievable.
absolutely. Especially the second unit aspect. He's
Yep.
out there at least starting the game. He's playing against a lot of backups.
Yep.
Obviously, as the game progresses, he's out there against the starters. But yeah, the second unit aspect definitely helps him as well. Yeah, I'm still rocking Celtics in this one. I don't know. I'm too sussed about Embiid's injury, and I definitely don't think Harden can lead the Sixers over the Celtics by himself. I definitely don't think
Yeah,
that's
I mean,
in the realm of possibility.
Embiid has to be at least like 85% of what he was in the regular season for them to have a chance. Like for them to have a reasonable chance. Anything
Yeah,
below that, and it's
I would say he was at like 60% game two.
yeah, that's what he looked like.
He was not moving well. I mean, he only had 3 rebounds or something, 3 or 4
Yeah, I
rebounds.
mean, he still looked good on defense. I'll give him that, especially in the first half.
Yeah, protecting the rim for sure.
Yeah, but yeah, 3 rebounds, not good. Harden had 10 rebounds, trying to contribute. He went 2 for 14 though. So yeah, classic Harden back to earth. But I'm confident in the C's, not 1,000%, but if we can get an engaged and motivated Brown and Tatum, I think we're fine.
For sure. I completely agree. Well, let's jump to the NFL draft now. I promise y'all, hard isn't hard. This is the last time we're going to talk about the draft until we talk about
Maybe.
Dynasty football in a couple weeks. So we'll definitely talk about the new rookies in Dynasty football. But Spinny, what do you think about this draft, man? Before we even dive into this draft, I'm going to say a quick note about the 2020 draft, which is crazy. They only had 12 fifth-year options selected from the 2020 draft, which is the fewest ever from a draft class. So 2020 class, not looking very good.
2020, that's...
Man, who was that even? I don't know why I'm drawing blanks. I mean...
Okay, Baker was 2018. So then...
2020 NFL draft class.
Why am I drawing a blank so bad? That's not Trevor Lawrence, is it?
Wow. This is Joe Burrow's class.
Oh.
Joe Burrow, top 10, Joe Burrow, Chase Young, Jeff Okudah, Andrew Thomas, Tua, Herbert, Derek Brown, Isaiah Simmons, CJ Henderson, and Jedrick Wills was your 10th pick.
Yeah. And for some reason, the Commanders didn't pick up Chase Young's fifth-year option, which is unbelievable to me.
Yeah, it should be at least 13, not 12. I don't get that one either.
Well, like, I understand he's been injured and you're worried about that, but, like, when he's healthy, I think it's pretty understandable that he's, like, a top 5 pass rusher in the league. So, like,
pretty obvious.
I don't get that at all, really. But
it's like how many other guys in the league are injury ridden though? You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah, well, and like biggest thing, how many other guys in the league can even do what he does? Like,
no, yeah,
at the
there's
most,
only a handful.
Like 6,
there's a handful.
7 at
yeah.
the most.
For sure. That's it.
I just don't understand how you don't pick up the 5th-year option. We're not even giving this guy a contract.
Exactly. It's not even an extension. It's just the option. Like, what the? I don't get it.
I don't get it.
All right, I'm gonna ask you the first question here though. What team or teams, you can shout out a couple if you really wanted to, stood out to you as the best graded teams on draft night? Who had the best drafts?
Biggest winner of the draft for me wasn't even really a winner of this draft, but that's the Arizona Cardinals and that trade that they made to get Houston's pick. Houston's going to be bad, and Arizona's probably going to be bad, especially with Kyler missing half the year. They have 2 shots that are probably going to be in like the top 5 to 7 at getting that number 1 pick. And then even if you don't get it, you can trade up and get the guy you want. And honestly, hot take, if they end up getting that number 1 pick, is it trade Kyler situation? Get a bunch more for him, and then we go straight Caleb Williams, and we're getting another top 7 pick, and whatever you get for Kyler.
You'd have to consider it, right? Like,
you have to consider it.
You absolutely have to consider it.
Which would be absolutely unbelievable haul and decision for Arizona. I just don't get why Houston didn't just take Will Anderson. Do you think Stroud was? Do you think Indy was going to take Stroud?
Mm,
I just don't know. I just wonder if it was an unnecessary trade up for what they did. They got great players, but I just think
it
that
was it
it's
was
crazy to give
100%.
up their first round pick for next year. That's
That's
crazy.
what I'm saying. That was I have that written down as one of the questionable moves to me from this draft. I would not. I love Will Anderson. Obviously, he's my guy from Bama.
Yeah.
No chance in hell if I'm as bad as the Texans, am I trading my first next year for him? Plus pick 9 or whatever they had to do to move back up.
Yeah.
So tech in theory 2 firsts. And then there was other things thrown in there as well, maybe a second or I can't
Yeah,
remember
pick
the rest of
12
the
is what
details.
they had.
Yeah, 12, and there was other picks though. It wasn't just pick 12 in the future first. It
No,
was
there was
there was
more.
a second or third peppered in there,
Yep.
something along those lines. Yeah, that was definitely very questionable to me. So I like your take on Cardinals being one of the better
And
drafts here.
this is the easy one, so I'm not like jumping out on a limb here, but
Eagles.
Eagles definitely.
Yeah,
I mean, probably one draft day as well.
I mean we're talking freaking pick 30, Nolan Smith, a guy
Yeah,
who potentially was all the way as high as pick 10 to their first pick.
yeah. I mean, his measurables are great. He just didn't have great production at Georgia.
Right. And for some reason, I agree with Brady's take last week on it, but for some reason, his height is like really being held against him as well. He's only 6 feet tall.
Oh, which I guess I kind of get, but
Right. I don't think that
I feel
matters
like
too much. With his elite
yeah,
speed, he should still be able to get
yeah.
around the guys.
So that was good. Also, I kind of have a hot take here, and I'm giving the Lions a B on their draft.
Was
So
that you mean hot take because you think they should have been scored worse, or
I think most people would score them worse than that.
I I'm with you then. I think they deserve at least a B. Yes, they maybe
Ooh,
reached. No,
really?
I'm totally with you because the more I thought about it, draft night, I was like, what the hell are these guys doing right now with their first 2 or 3 picks? I
Well,
can't
the
remember where.
Jameer Gibbs pick, I do think is a bad pick. I
Yeah,
think taking the second best running back at pick 12 is not good.
plus the trade up to get them as
Yeah,
well.
yeah.
Yeah, no, so yeah, like they probably reached on Gibbs. They reached on Jack Campbell as well,
Well,
but they got guys that they wanted. And these are all guys that projected to be really good or at least quality starters in the NFL.
well,
So it's not like they drafted bums.
and here's the thing with Jack Campbell, right? Like, I get, yes, he's supposed to be was supposed to be later, but the other need is probably pass rusher, right? So they were either taking like the fifth or sixth best pass rusher or the number one inside linebacker in the draft. And that's how I felt too with their later picks with Brian Branch. Like,
Well, that's what I'm
yeah,
saying. They snagged him.
most people don't like drafting safeties that high, but you could either get the number 8, 7 wide receiver or you get the number one safety. It's just like
Yeah, as a
I think
late second.
I think what they did later, even though it was a lot of buying at what you would consider non-primary positions, non-primary draft positions like safety and linebacker and running back, I think that they did get some better value later on. I'm also missing another second that they had that was good as well, but it's slipping my mind right now.
Laporta. They drafted tight end Sam
Yeah.
Laporta.
Yeah, and I mean that's the other thing. Maybe I mean a lot of us I think thought that Michael Mayer was going to be the number one tight end, but they took the number one tight end on their board as well. So I think for them it was
Yeah,
three
that's
number
what I'm getting
ones
at.
at their position. It's
Absolutely. They
just
got
it's
the
just
guys they
not
wanted.
it's just you those positions don't have value because the difference between the best and the worst is not nearly as much as other main positions.
Yeah, I agree. One of the other teams that stood out to me was the Seahawks. I love Devin Witherspoon. 5 maybe was a couple picks higher than he should have been. Who cares? He's good enough to go 5. Jackson Smith. That's a good ad, especially considering Lockett's probably going to be off the team here after this year, maybe the year after. So that's definitely a good ad there. And then the rest of their picks was just straight need after need after need. They addressed pretty much every single need. They got another running back, so it's not just Kenneth Walker on their team. They got edge rushers. They addressed their secondary by drafting a safety as well as a DB. So they were just a team that just hit every single need. And yes, that makes the most sense is to draft your needs. But we see teams not do that all the time. Like,
Yeah. And if Witherspoon is as good as they think he is and you think he is, that him and the Tariq Woolen combination, like we're literally talking Legion of Boom
it's amazing.
2.0 instantly.
Yeah,
Instantly.
exactly.
So like that'll be insane. Like if that hits, like that's gonna be looking real good. Agree with the JSM pick. And who knows? I think a quarterback's gotta come at some point, but maybe it'll be next year.
And the other thing about Zach Charbonnet is the running back they took. He's going to complement Kenneth Walker so well. He is a lot better at catching the ball, something that Kenneth is not very good at. And so I just think that combo, especially in a rush dominant offense, I mean, they've been rush dominant for how many years now? I just think that was a great get as well. Another team that stood out to me, though, was the Colts. I mean, Anthony Richardson has as big of a ceiling as any quarterback, pretty much just based off his athleticism, right?
Yeah.
And so that was a solid pick there at 4. They didn't have to move up or anything. They stayed at 4 and probably got the guy they wanted the most, anyways. And then in day 2, they took a guy, Julius Brents, out of K State. Spinny, I don't know if you ever heard about this guy, but this is a cornerback that you would like just based off his measurements. I know you like those long and lengthy corners, and this man is 6'3", 34-inch arm wingspan. No arms. That must just be one arm.
Yeah.
34-inch and 42-inch vertical. So they snagged him in the second round. This guy seems like he's going to be a freak. They got Josh Downs, who a lot of people had anywhere from WR5 to WR8 on their board, and they got him as WR14 of the draft class. So that was a good snag for them in the third round. And they also got Blake Freeland. We talked about him on Risers and Fallers a couple weeks ago. A big tackle out of BYU. They snagged him in the fourth round, kind of exactly where we thought he would go. So yeah, it was just another team that addressed the many needs that they have. So they stood out to me as well.
Like it.
How about bad drafts? Were there any teams that really stood out to you? I want to shit talk your former team a little bit, but that'd be it.
Houston, I think their draft might have been good, but they overpaid a ridiculous amount. I think they got to be on that list. What first round picks didn't I like? Let's just scroll down a little bit. It's hard to. I mean, Darnell Wright stands out as being way too early. Obviously, I don't think most people had him that high on their boards. Classic Chicago pick, and Atlanta, like we've said the whole time, Atlanta taking Bijan makes no sense at all. 0 cents. 0.0. 0 cents. Unless they actually have faith in Desmond Ridder, which
I mean, clearly they do. Clearly they do.
Which is unbelievable, right? Isn't it?
It's crazy to me, man. I don't get it either. They're probably one of the many teams on the list of trying to trade up for Caleb Williams, Drake May next year, if they're bad enough, I would imagine. But it's like I don't also like completely relying on that though, because how many teams are going to be trying to do that?
Everyone, all of them.
And if the team that's bad enough to get the first pick probably needs a quarterback, there's no way in hell the team with the first pick is trading it. They're going to take
unless there's an injury.
Right. For sure.
But yeah, I agree. Yeah,
I want to roast Patriots a little bit. They did their basic, at least last couple of years they've been drafting like this, where they hit on their first, maybe their second pick as well. They obviously got Christian Gonzalez at 17, which is absolute smash for me. I had them taking him at pick 14, so I was glad to see they still were able to get him at pick 17. Keon White in the second round, D tackle, he's good too. But then from there, it's your just basic Patriots draft. Why are you picking this dude, or who the hell is this? That's literally I don't even know a single name the rest of this list. Not to mention they picked
What
a
do you
kicker.
mean, Marte Mbapu? You don't know him? What are you talking about? Come on,
Like,
he's my guy.
I don't know. Like
My Sacramento State guy. You don't know him? Come on.
Sacramento State, like, man. I mean, and they took a kicker in the third or I think fourth round. Actually, they took a punter. They drafted a punter. Why?
They
Why?
need one. They
Like,
need a punter.
I just don't get it. Like,
Field position game. Gotta
other
play
than
it.
Gonzalez and White, all of their other picks literally fall under the why or who columns. Besides Keishon Butte, they snagged him in the fifth round. He fell. I mean, probably because he didn't play a single game last year. I would imagine that's why he fell. That's their only late or non-first two round good pick, literally. So
What, my guy
I'm
Jake Andrews from Troy? You're not loving him or what?
just keep that.
My
I
boy,
know you read all these names too, and you're just like, you're shocked. I know you are.
my boy Chad Ryland. Come on, Chad Ryland about to be the
My
best
boy
kicker in the
Chad
league, baby.
Ryland.
Chad
Oh my
Ryland.
gosh.
Also, Eagles Keely Ringo, third pick of the fourth round. That's another
Yeah.
reason they
Let's
drafted
just
him.
add let's just add three more freaking Georgia Bulldogs to our team, huh?
Yeah.
Sweet. Awesome. The other team that really did not draft well to me is also an AFC East team, and that's the Jets. After absolutely obliterating the draft last year, they got freaking Sauce Gardner, Garrett Wilson, and Brees Hall. Like, that is an absurd class. They drafted Will McDonald, who I think both of us had at the late first, maybe early second range. They drafted him at pick 15 when there was way better edge rushers on the board. So I don't really get that. That was kind of a reach there, but maybe it's kind of a Lions situation where they just got the guy they wanted, I guess. But from there, they're drafting a lot of positions that they didn't really necessarily need, especially their third or fourth round pick, Israel. I'm not even going to try to butcher his last name. They picked a running back. You just spent a valuable pick on Brees Hall last year. Why are you even drafting a running back? You don't need another running back. You really don't. Like, so they were kind of like the Patriots, just drafting under the why and who column the rest of the way, after actually the whole way, because even with Will McDonald, that was a breach.
True. At least they smashed free agency though.
They
So,
did. They got their QB, so
yeah.
I don't think they
And
really care
Alan
too much.
Lazard. That's a great too. Let's be real. Like Lazard kind of proved last year he can be a WR2 in the league. I feel like.
Yeah,
You
they
with
still
me?
have Corey Davis, don't they? And then
Yeah,
they just signed Randall Cobb too, or officially signed him,
and
and
Garrett Wilson, obviously.
yeah, they got some dudes. They really
Yeah.
do.
Still gonna get like the first wild card spot at the best, but it's okay.
One last dude I want to just very briefly mention, then we'll dive into the Vikings picks. That is Joey Porter Jr., pick 32 of the Steelers. I thought that was a steal as well. I thought for sure he was a lock to go in the first round, so I was shocked to see him slip to the second round. But unsurprisingly, he was drafted immediately with the very first pick of the second round. So that was a steal by the Steelers there. No, pun intended, absolutely. And he gets to play for the team his dad played for. So I think that's pretty cool as well.
That is cool. I wish I kind of wanted the Vikes to take him at 23, honestly.
Okay, so the Vikes at 23. We took Jordan Addison. What do you think about that?
I
mean,
it.
we both had him. We both had him on the mock.
We did. I like it. I hope.
Are the Vikings going to be the number one passing attack this year?
You would think so. I mean, the Dalvin Cook situation is obviously still, I don't really understand what's going on.
Who knows what's going on? Yeah.
So I'd like to get that figured out soon here so we can see what our running back situation is going to be. But yeah, I hope so. That'd be lit. I hope Addison can have an impact like I think he's going to, especially underneath, allowing Jefferson to be more of the deep guy. Hopefully we get a Deontay Johnson type guy here. That would be sweet. So yeah, I guess that's what I'm hoping for. And if that pans out, I think we'll be rocking.
From there, though, to me, the draft was pretty underwhelming. From there, I'd give us maybe a B- grade. I'd say Mekhi Blackman, got him in the third round. Cornerback, we drafted cornerback Jay Ward in the fourth round. Jaquelin Roy, D tackle in the fifth round. Jaron Hall, 5th round quarterback, and Dwayne McBride, 7th round running back. You would imagine picking another running back would mean Dalvin's gone for sure, right?
You'd think. Also, I mean, drafting 2 corners for depth is obviously good.
Right.
Because it's essentially Booth and Murphy at this point. So, hopefully, why am I blanking on the USC corner's name? Mackay something? Blackman. Hopefully he can at least have some impact in the slot, and it's the Vikings, so one of our corners is going to get injured, so he's going to be playing at some point this year.
Yeah, that's true. That is true. I just thought he wasn't even the best corner on the board at that time. That's why I was just like a little underwhelmed by that pick. And then the rest of the picks, just based off what I've read up on them, just underwhelming guys. None of them really expected to make an impact, or at least definitely not in year one. So that's why it was a little underwhelming to me.
Which is sketchy for our defense, obviously.
Right. Like, for example, Kaylee Ringo was on the freaking board. I'm sorry. To me, he's definitely better than Mekhi Blackman. I'm sorry. You had to take Kaylee Ringo in the 3rd round when he's there. You just have to.
Yeah. That's how I feel too, but what do you do?
You have any other thoughts about the draft? Vikings draft? Any thoughts in general?
Not quite on the draft. I am looking forward to, I just have to say it one more time, Addison Hawkinson Jefferson combo is going to be really fun to watch.
Let's go.
We're finally going to embrace the passing attack and try to hit it hard. So it should be fun. Hopefully we got some good tackles now. We got 2 good tackles. We got 2 good receivers, and we got a good tight end. So hopefully if we can keep Kirk upright, like what have we always said? Keep Kirk upright and he can dime it. And now we gave him weapons and we gave him linemen to pass block. So I don't know.
Yep.
Hopefully we'll see. We'll see what's up.
Coming. We'll score 40 a game. Who cares if our defense gives up 30?
Yeah.
Don't matter.
We might be 10-7, scoring 35 and giving up 29, but we'll be living.
Hey, as long as our high picks from last year are able to stay healthy, I think they could progress like we thought they would. Lewis Seen and Andrew Booth. So obviously we need that secondary help. If they're able to stay healthy and progress, we could actually have a sneaky good.
Seen really is this year.
Right. That's what I'm saying. If they're able to come into their own, maybe a year before they should, since they didn't play last year.
Yeah.
Harrison, Byron Murphy, with those 2, that's not a terrible secondary at all. No. It's definitely a major improvement from last year.
Who our linebackers will be a fun experiment.
Hey, I love Osmosa though. I do. He's really started to come into his own at the end of last year. I think he could really take a big jump this year with all the additional playing time he's going to get. Yeah. But other than that, he's the only linebacker I like on our roster. So it's not looking good in the middle of the field. Yeah, just a sigh, honestly.
Yep.
That's all you can really do.
I think we're looking at 10-7 early prediction for the Vikes for next year.
11-6. That's what I'm rocking with.
All
right. Let's jump to our last segment. We're going to predict the All-NBA teams. It's going to be coming out here maybe this round, or maybe they wait till the conference finals. Not really sure. It's definitely coming in the next week or 2 or 3. So we need to throw our picks out there. So it's on the board. I mean, we got to start with first team, right? Feel like we got to start where there's. We could. I don't know. I thought we need to start where there seems to be less contention.
True. All right. Fine. But this is going to be big contention with mine for some people. So,
first team. They still have the format. In case you didn't know, that did not kick in until next year. 65 games played, positionless. That's next year. Still have 2 guards, 2 forwards, center for each team. 0 game requirement, even though historically they don't vote for anyone that played less than 50 games. So keep that in mind as we're saying our guys here. My first team, Shai Gilgeous. It's saying that, I'm even saying that. Steph Curry, Jason Tatum, Giannis, Joel Embiid. As we saw, Joel Embiid just won MVP. That's a lock. He's a lock center. Giannis and Tatum also locks. I think this guard combo is up for debate, though. Who do you have?
Yeah, I have SGA as well, but my second first-team guard is Donovan Mitchell, and then Tatum, Giannis, and Embiid. I think that's pretty unquestioned at this point.
Okay, give me your Give me your quick Spida over Curry take for this season, obviously.
Games played, obviously part of it.
Okay.
Curry obviously was out a lot of the season. I think
he still hit over 60 games though.
What?
He still hit over 60 games though.
True. Stats wise, Mitchell obviously just a touch better than Curry this year. As far as scoring per game, shooting percentages, obviously.
No way. He was not better than Curry this year from scoring.
Yeah, he was.
Curry averaged 29 this year.
Did he? Well, how many games did Curry play?
No, he only played 56, so that's probably why you're not seeing him on that leaderboard.
Yeah, because I think you got to play 58 games to qualify
58,
for
yeah.
all these leaders lists. So
I mean, he scored 28, basically the same. Well, 1 point.
Yeah, and Mitchell played 80 games as well. Why won't my thing load here? Yeah, Mitchell played 80 games as well, so that was obviously oh, no, he didn't. Sorry, I lied.
68 games.
68 games for Mitchell. 48 from the field, 38 from three. I think Mitchell had a slightly better season. I think the teams were about even, honestly. And Mitchell obviously got the 4 seed as opposed to the 6 for the Warriors. So a little bit better team regular season production and pretty much a wash as far as regular season production.
Yeah, maybe I should have considered the 12 more games played by Spida than Curry a little more. But to me, I liked, yes, it was only 1 point, but he scored more on better efficiency, 49% to 48. I know we're obviously just 1%, but just throwing stats out there. 43% from three, Curry this year, and we know how many he gets up. 6 rebounds, 6 assists as well. So he was pretty much higher in every single category. The only one he wasn't would be steals. So that's just why I gave the slight nod to Curry, as well as the historical aspect of obviously, as at least right now, Steph is miles better than Donovan Mitchell. I don't know if they necessarily consider that. I don't think they should, because All NBA is, to me at least, snapshot of this season only. But yeah, I just think because he was slightly better in all these categories, like you said, the teams are pretty much a wash. I had to go Curry there.
Yeah, you're probably right, honestly, on that one. I probably should have went Curry for his team, but I thought he played less games than that. I mischecked that when I looked it up. So yeah, you're probably right on that one, but maybe to Mitchell, you never know.
You never know. Well, let's jump to second teams. Who do you got?
Well, Curry, and De'Aaron Fox, second team guards. Brown and Julius Randle, second team forwards. Jaylen Brown and Nikola Jokic, second team center. I think that's pretty unanimous.
I mean, if he's not second team, that'd be absolutely ridiculous.
Yeah.
So we had the same. Obviously, I had Spida, not Curry. But other than that, we had the same. Other than you had Julius Randle, I had LeBron James. I'm giving the slight edge to LeBron. I would have to check games played. I'm sure Julius played at least 15 more than LeBron, because LeBron only played 55. I'm sure Julius hit at least 70. But LeBron averaged 29 on 50% shooting, 8 rebounds, 7 assists. That's just absurd stats to me. I think it's a lock that he at least makes one of these teams. I was seeing some random articles of people. I was watching even some videos like I don't even know what he's on, but Chandler Parsons. I was looking at his. He didn't have LeBron on there. That's just insane to me. Just the historical aspect. I mean, we're talking a guy that's made All NBA, any of the teams, every year but his first 2 years in the league. Do you really think he's just not going to make it now this year after he averaged 29, 8, and 7 on 50% shooting? There's just no way. Like he's a lock to make second or third team for sure.
Yeah, I agree he's a lock to make second or third team. I'm just Randall's 77 games, so we're talking 22 more games. Like that's pretty big. Randall averaged 25 a game, 45 from the field, and 34 from three. So probably Randall's best season as far as splits and numbers go.
More rebounds than LeBron.
Yep. 10 rebounds and 4 assists per game. I don't know, on 2.8 turnovers. I can't remember what Bron's turnovers were. But yeah, that's a slight one for me. I just went games played and overall production over points per game. But I agree, LeBron's getting one of these.
Man, it's funny that for you, you were like, maybe I should have gone Curry over Spida. And now for
Yeah.
me, I'm like, shit, maybe I should have gone Randall over LeBron because of this 22 game difference.
Yeah, that's
Yeah,
quite a bit.
I think that's gonna come back and haunt me. But I'm rocking LeBron. Like
Yeah, you got to
I
be
have to.
biased a little.
I have to. Third team. This is crazy that I didn't even throw him on third team. But you made this great point to me off air. Luca is my first guard. Dame, Jimmy Butler, Julius Randle, Domantas Sabonis are my 5 players for third team. Luca at third team is just ridiculous. But your point was that he didn't make the playoffs. You don't really see guys that aren't in the playoffs on All NBA.
No, in the last 5 years, there hasn't been anybody who hasn't made the playoffs on first or second team All NBA. Only on third team. So
Only on
that's kind
third.
of why I went with a little bit of this with Luca and Dame. Both these guys, huge, amazing stats. If their teams were, for sure, if their teams were 4 or 5 seeds or better, they're first team All NBA. But it is what it is on the history of that. So I got Luca and Dame and LeBron and Jimmy as well and Sabonis. I think Jimmy's history, I just took him over Laurie and Kawhi playing 52 games, KD 47, just kind of slightly bumped them out just on their games played.
Yeah, for sure. And also the Lowry aspect too. It's like we're really going to throw 3 guys on third team that didn't make playoffs, because we already had Luka and Dame. So it's like I don't know. I'm kind of sussed about that. The bigger one to me that really stumped me was AD.
Yeah.
AD, Jimmy, and Julius were the 3 I was really considering here for third team. For you, would have been LeBron in that group, obviously.
And AD played how many games again?
54. It was above 50, 52
Okay.
to 56 range. I'm just interested in hearing your reasoning for throwing Jimmy and I guess LeBron for you over AD.
Well, I really didn't know how much AD played at forward this year. So that was kind of weird for me as well. I don't think he
That's a
was
good
better
point.
than Sabonis. He played 56 games this year, 25 and 12, 2 assists, 1 steal, and 2.5 blocks. So I think AD could definitely be on here. And like I obviously think AD had a better season than Jimmy for sure. But again, Lakers are the 7. Are they going to get 2 All NBA guys? And like, did AD play enough and show enough that? And I know LeBron played less than him, so you're like, how is that possible? But I just didn't know where to put him, and
Right.
given that,
And LeBron's obvious lock at forward.
yeah.
Oh, yeah.
And I think the benefit of the doubt they're going to give to LeBron over AD. But AD deserves to be on here. I mean, from his defensive impact alone, he deserves to be on here.
Yeah. 25 and 12 as
Yeah.
well. Yeah. Absolutely ridiculous. But, I mean, I would agree. You can't really put him on there over Sabonis after he averaged 19, 12, and 7 on 62% shooting and also played, you said what, 56 games for
Yeah.
AD or something like that? He played 79. So it's kind of like that Randall talk we just had. 20 some more games. Like, yeah, you had to have him on there.
You gotta reward players who play more games when it's close like this, I feel.
Yeah, absolutely. And the Jimmy aspect for all y'all out there being like, well, Jimmy Butler didn't make an All-Star game. How the hell is he All NBA? You guys are sounding like that too when you're thinking about that.
Are they? Are they? Sounding like
41 players in NBA history have made the All NBA team after not making the All-Star game in the same season. So most recently it was in 2017, Rudy Gobert made second team All NBA after not making the All-Star game. And we're only talking about third team right now. So
yeah.
I'm throwing Jimmy out there too. Well, that's it, y'all. That's the Lawrence Taylor episode. Shout out Lawrence Taylor, one of the GOATs. RIP. He was a stud.
Lawrence Taylor's dead?
What do you mean?
Is Lawrence Taylor dead?
Or am I thinking of who am I thinking of?
I don't know. I just didn't know Lawrence Taylor was dead. I don't
Yeah,
think
you're
he's
right.
dead.
He's not dead. He's not dead. Oh, I'm such an idiot. It's obviously Sean Taylor. I'm thinking.
Oh.
Duh. Lawrence Taylor not dead. Still a stud. One of the GOATs. That's actually hilarious.
Marty's
That I
It's been a long
Hey,
week for the boys, I guess.
yeah, it has. But at least they had the same last name. Like,
Yeah, I
at
suppose
least I wasn't just picking a random dude with
true.
random name, I guess. That's my consolation.
I'll give you your little participation trophy if you want it.
Oh my gosh. All right, y'all. We're gonna wrap up the alive Lawrence Taylor episode here with a Q&A from our very own Connor Forbrook, Q&A master. Let me get his text up. He wants to know, Spinny, unlimited money situation here. Your perfect breakfast. You can have whatever you want. Perfect breakfast. What are you going to eat? You can have as much as you want, whatever you want. You have all the money in the world. What's your most ideal breakfast? I feel like you're
steak and eggs with French toast and potatoes. Like breakfast potatoes with steak and eggs and then a side of French toast. With
steak and eggs, huh?
Yep.
You're going to eat a steak at 7 a.m.,
Yep.
8 a.m. That's your go-to, huh?
That would be my ultimate money, what I would want. Like if I was a billionaire, what I'd have every day. Yeah.
That's interesting. Man, I don't know. I feel like my favorite breakfast foods are not even that expensive, so I feel like I should take advantage of this unlimited money scenario here. But like my
You're just
favorite
gonna say
breakfast,
cereal or some dumb shit, aren't you?
bro, literally like my ideal breakfast, I'm not even kidding you, is
Reese's Puffs.
probably a protein waffle. My chocolate chip protein waffles are insane. Kodiak. If y'all don't know, go buy some Kodiak. It's amazing.
But you wouldn't rather have a regular, like a Belgian waffle with real chocolate chips on it instead of that?
Fine. I don't need my protein waffle. Fine. We'll have a very, very. I don't even know. Tell me some restaurant that has a really good Belgian waffle. I don't know. The best one. Give me that Belgian waffle. Put peanut butter on it though. I love it. Chocolate chip waffle with peanut butter. Insane. Maybe powdered sugar instead. I don't know. That's a great combo too. But you also need hash browns. I need my hash browns.
Breakfast potatoes over hash browns for sure.
I would. I want both, man. This is my ideal breakfast, right?
Like
I want I want half and half. But then I also want sausage and bacon. You best believe I'm getting both of them, not just one of them. I need both.
Sausage is mid, but I'll take it,
bro. What
breakfast sausages are?
Roast this guy in the comments, please.
Bacon,
I know none
bacon
of
is just so much better than breakfast sausage. It's not even like in the same universe of closeness.
Man, I don't know. I really don't know.
Unless it's burnt bacon. If you like your bacon black, any sort of black on your bacon, I question your insanity. Honestly,
it's got to be a little crunchy.
No, I like floppy bacon. That's me. I'm into the floppiest flop.
I'll eat it. I'll eat it all.
That's fair.
But on top of that, I ain't done yet. Maybe throw me a little bowl of fresh fruit or something on the side.
Just maybe, every breakfast food ever made by humans. That's what you would have.
This is my ideal breakfast. That was the question.
All right.
So I don't know. This probably be the only meal I'm eating that whole day.
Yeah, I was gonna say.
I feel like I'm forgetting one important aspect. But
cereal?
Let's just finish it off. That wasn't what I was going to say, but let's just finish off with a bowl of cereal for sure. I'll eat all that good stuff.
My favorite cereal.
What's your favorite cereal?
Plain Cheerios.
Bruh. What?
Yeah. Favorite cereal. Lit.
We have a podcast together when your favorite cereal is plain Cheerios, not even Honey Nut Cheerios?
Honey Nut Cheerios way worse than plain for sure.
All right, y'all. I've had it with this talk with Spinny. roast this dude up in the comments. I can't stand this anymore, y'all.
The comments will
This
like
is-
plain Cheerios better than Honey Nut too. That's the best part.
All right. We'll see, man. We'll
All
see.
right.
That was the Lawrence Taylor episode for y'all. We're ending it right there. Spinny.
Ended up sponsor us, Cheerios.
We'll see.